Welcome everybody on YouTube. We are on World of Ability. This is Kurt Roskoff, and I'm just making sure that everything is streaming and recording as prescribed. We have our handy dandy podcast engineer, Emily Gulmer, on the mission to help record and take over the live stream. I have it all confirmed that we are on, and we are. Again, welcome to another exciting episode of the World of Ability. My displays keep changing, and I have different connectivity today. I'm on my phone once again, out at another event. I'm reporting live from the largest water ski tournament in the world, and we had an exciting accomplishment over this weekend already. And I report that there's a gentleman by the name of Maddox who has a rare disease, and he did phenomenally well. So I consider him part of our diverse ability skier crew. He did a phenomenal job on a kneeboard and came up to the stage and really impressed the audience with a great performance during the show. So this is show skiing, performing live in front of a live audience of about 1,000 people watching through the seating area. So this is like a festival. It's got its food tents and other food vendors and ice cream and selling T-shirts and the whole thing here. Great family fun event. I'm going to go ahead and share with you a little glimpse from where I'm out. I'm out here getting away from it a little bit. This is a little bit behind the scenes. Seeing out there some of the skiing activity out there, boats running. Take a look at that. We got crowds cheering. So hear the crowds cheering out there. So yeah, boat teams, safety crews, stage performances over there, announcer. We got judges tent, a whole safety judging team. So yeah, and yesterday we ran adaptive water skiing with the Lindsay Legis Free Water Skiing Club. So we had about 5 participants yesterday, and we gave them all multiple runs, and we also run able-bodied skiing lessons out here. So again, welcome to the World of Ability podcast, powered by and made possible by Transform You Media Network. And we syndicate it out to the PAC channel, and we give great thanks to all the great work of the Disability channel. And they too restream it out for us over on that platform. And we are also working with Jennifer A. Whitaker, who is creating a podcast in the making, perhaps releasing in May potentially. Those are kind of initial discussions. And so we are in the works of that. But Jennifer A. Whitaker is going to be joining us in our Compassionate Citizens work, and is due to co-host with Emily on Wednesday for a Compassionate Citizens production by Jennifer A. Whitaker with the support of Emily Gulmer. And so we are looking forward to that. And right now we are joined again by our panelists, Barbara and Marianne. So Marianne, welcome. How are you doing today, Marianne?
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien. Me llamo Mariana in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. So I am in a private penthouse here for the summer by myself. I'm currently creating the Acts of Kindness books into animation movies with sign language characters and soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. And I'm working on the climate change book. So I got up and danced this morning, Kurt, 6 o'clock, and had the energy and using my notebook here and writing down what the universe wants me to do and listening to the soundtrack. And I just wanted to share too, I got an email yesterday from Greenpeace. I sent it to you guys and I posted it on Facebook. Greenpeace writes letters for climate change action. And they sent a email urging everyone to call President Biden at the Washington DC White House, and to speak with them about the emergency climate situation that we're having. If not, you can leave a message. So I sent you guys all that information. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but please do your part and take action. Monday, give them a call. When I called Friday, a Greenpeace person answered the telephone and said that they would connect me to the White House. However, I was a different time zone, but I look forward to calling, and I send it out to other people. So please share that information so we can be part of this emergency climate change action with President Biden, and we wish him good health. Speaking of health, I'm overcoming the COVID that I had, my COVID, so I'm getting my energy, moving around and dancing in this penthouse and sitting out on the patio in the hammock and getting in nature to build up my immunity. And I was speaking to another HNP, Tony, in Daytona about his iPhone and how the iPhone can benefit the Acts of Kindness series project with the app games. So that was a great one-on-one I had before this meeting. And I'm looking at housing. I've applied my application for senior living in Hawaii. Doesn't mean I get it automatically, but it feels good that the paperwork is in transaction. We'll see where I go. And I have options to go visit a friend in Florida, St. Petersburg, affordable housing. We knew each other from Hawaii, and it could be like a Grace and Frankie Netflix kind of sitcom. But I put my word out to my other captain friend, Captain Carl Meinberg, who I met when I first moved to Hawaii, who had a sailboat named Ariel. And he invited me to come on the sailboat. And he knew I became a Reiki practitioner. You know, hot hands Marianne goes around, right? So not only that, I got to sail around the Hawaiian Islands with him and some other crew. And it was just amazing for 10 days. So not to say it was like a campground on water, but we would pick up the different people that fly in and apply. And anyway, I contacted him and said, hey, you know, what's up? I may be coming to Florida, because I knew he went back to Florida. Well, he's sailing all over the world. He's in Alaska to San Francisco now. And he just sent me like a Craigslist for crew from Cabo to San Diego. Someone backed out. So I'm trying to hop on this 53-foot oyster for a couple of weeks. What a great birthday package that would be. And so I'm working on that. So the universe is going to provide and the best options. And that's what I'm kind of excited about. But yeah, I've been creatively dancing, working out these songs, Tears of Joy, and I told Denise I was doing some in-house Reiki on myself. There's these YouTubes now, the healers can send it to me and send it to my Reiki master instructor. And we were looking at when I applied for all these certifications to put on my business expense report. And I'm working with Trevor Gibbs to do that as well. So it's very uplifting to kind of get all this out of my mind and like the financials and all that, to see how I kept all these receipts from either, you know, the sailing book signing to this, to just lots of different things. I kept all that, and we're uploading that into the business expense report. And I look forward to filing my taxes with the pandemic unemployment that I used the money to create these app games. So it's all going to be done, and it just feels really good. So thank you, Kurt, for having me here. And it is raining here in Cabo San Lucas, so I'm kind of having some soup, and I'm going to still kind of rest, and I'm going to watch some animation movies, not to plagiarize off of them, but it gets me motivated. And I'm just getting open to receive a lot of this creativity with these sign language characters. And I sent you a couple of pictures too, Kurt. So they got some new puppets out. And actually they'll be trading off as signers. So I'm not sure how it's all going to pan out, but it's starting to flow, and I'm taking that journal book down, and there you go. Back to you, Kurt.
All right. Marianne always tells us go out and play. So ladies and gentlemen, I am out and I am playing, and it's on here with our panelists. So I'm out here by Lake Wazeecha in Wisconsin, Rapids, Wisconsin. Again, the home of the largest water ski tournament in the world. And we've been having a hot, humid day. And everybody's watching their radar today in central Wisconsin because there are threats of some pretty good rain coming. Slight chance within the hour, but good chances within the next couple hours. And then within 4 hours, it could be a doozy out here in central Wisconsin. They're throwing out some possibilities of hail, and it might even be tornado watch. And so it could get exciting real fast before we get to sunset here in central Wisconsin. So
be careful. Be careful.
Oh yeah.
But Kurt, I want to introduce Jonathan. Jonathan is here.
Oh, sure. Jonathan jumps right to the front of the line. I see what you're doing. All right. Let him cut in. Here we go. Let's go for the big win.
You have something else you want to say first, Kurt?
What's going on with the podcast and your call center work and everything you're doing? What's going on?
Yeah, definitely. So hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I'm excited to be here with all of you, and great shares, right? And I'm just really excited to continue to listen to all of you guys. Kurt, I hope you're, if there really is a tornado over there, wow, that's pretty wild. Definitely take a video if you're able to, if it's safe to do so. So, just this week, I actually was doing some, I was helping out with someone, and I actually dropped a cabinet right on my foot, and it was very painful, but luckily it's not so bad. So,
hopefully you didn't break anything.
No, I didn't. I had it checked right away. Yeah,
Okay.
I had the X-ray. It's not there's no fracture, but still very painful. But anyway, so I'm feeling a little bit better, so that's pretty cool. But real quick, my name is Jonathan De La Rosa, and I'm so grateful to be part of you guys, part of this, and working with Kurt and Emily on, especially on Clubhouse every week, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central. And it's really good stuff, I just wasn't there this past week, but I know they were holding it down and holding down just a phenomenal room. And I actually met them through an organization called the Happy Neighborhood Project. For those who've never heard of it before, it's an awesome networking group where people come together, entrepreneurs, and just people from different industries come together and network and basically shake hands over on Zoom, just like this. It's pretty cool. And I actually co-host a New England chapter every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely check it out if you have the time to do so. And I'm going to introduce myself really quickly. I'm actually the founder of a company called Respect Corp. We are a US-based outsourcer. So companies, so we actually have an overseas team that handles various business process support. So we do inbound call center support, outbound call center support, things like customer service, sales, appointment setting, surveying, right? Stuff like that, right? And there's a bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to bore you with that, but we essentially, we provide a lot of that support for companies that are really in that growth stage, right? Companies that are kind of going from small to medium. They just recently got funding, and they don't want to splurge like a crazy amount of money and potentially waste money on hiring internally, so they outsource to companies like ours. where it's a safer bet, right? And so that's what I do on the business side. I also do some podcasting as well. Not as awesome as Kurt and Emily's, but it's we're getting there little by little, slowly. We're slowly creeping up there, right? But it's all about big wins in life. It's all about sharing those big wins that we have in life. And what are the big wins? It's all about like overcoming adversity, overcoming obstacles in life, right? And we hear about, we all have friends. We have colleagues, we have clients, we have whoever that we all have stories in life, right? All of us has a story to share, right? And we share that big win, that person's big win on our show. And we have different types of stories. We have a few people from Happy Neighborhood Project that's on there. We have so many awesome stories. I don't know if anybody ever watches the show Big Brother, but I have a person from Big Brother on there that shared a story about how she learned how to live with autism all her life. And imagine going on a reality TV show that's run 24/7 with autism. I just can't imagine that, right? I have a little bit of anxiety myself, and I don't have autism. At least I don't think I don't know if I'm, maybe I am, I don't know. But I cannot imagine being on a 24/7 show, like with my anxiety. Like I just can't see it. So, and there's a bunch of other stories on there too. So definitely check it out. It's called This Is My Big Win on YouTube. We're also going to be on streaming platforms once I decide to stop being lazy and do the audio portion as well. And we're going to be on all platforms as well. So, but for now on YouTube, check it out. This Is My Big Win on YouTube. And yeah, and if you're listening and you feel like, man, I want to share my story, let's have a conversation, and we'll go from there. So, cool, awesome. And that's basically me in a nutshell. And I like your shirt, Emily. Party time. Oh, pardon, party live. I think that's what it says. So yeah, that's party. I like to party. So, but yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. So, back to you, Kurt. Thank you so much again for having me.
All right, Jonathan, you're gonna have to get a costume the next time you say that's me in a nutshell. I want you in a nutshell.
Okay, Kurt, we have to get Jonathan a nutshell costume.
All right, so
do it.
We're running a little FILO here, FILO, first in, last out. So Barbara was first in even before me, and now she's last out to be able to get into the show here. So Barbara, what do you bring in for thoughts today as I'm soaking my feet in this wonderful lake? It's really refreshing. Take it away, Barbara.
I was wondering if you were getting in the water. I was hoping you were. I know when I get into water, I just feel reborn somehow. And right now I'm not allowed to be in water. As I'm recovering and trying to figure out, like when I want to sleep, do I let myself sleep? Do I challenge that and try to keep myself awake and walking? It's hard to know exactly what to do, but I have some time to learn right now, and I'm trying to spend time learning from people that seem to be really wise. Zach Bush, who talks about all the life that's inside of every human body. And I'm listening to someone who talks about overcoming trauma right now. I'm trying to learn from somebody named Quit. See, and what I need to do for this show, as I'm challenging myself to grow and to learn, is to get really good about getting down people's names and what they're teaching. So I really have meaningful information to share. This last week, I won a speech contest, and that was exciting. And it's because I was talking from the heart about what I've been doing, what's been so important to me in my life. I was talking about, and that's always a winning speech when someone's excited about what they know, what they believe in, what's helped them grow, and they're speaking from the heart about things they've challenged and overcome. Those are the best speakers. I've seen that for a fact when I was in Orlando, and there was there were people that were Toastmasters who were speaking because they had won all these contests and they were leaders in the organization. And then there were people speaking from AmeriCorps and another conference that was happening just down the road. And these were the best speakers, people that had challenged things and overcome them to make their communities a better place. When those speakers spoke, you would be in tears. You know, you would feel so much because you could feel their excitement and their emotion. And that was interesting to see that what makes great speakers. And this show is exciting because you hear Marianne talking about what she's challenging and she's being so authentic and where she's winning. And it's so amazing. And you hear that from Kurt. And we see this from Emily. And we're now hearing this from John. And I'm just grateful to be part of something that I believe is important, is really great. People encouraging other people. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here.
Congratulations on winning your award.
Thank you.
All right. So
Yes.
I understand that yesterday was a very exciting day for this team, the World of Ability team. We have, one of our leaders here attended a meeting yesterday, and there's a fun activity called the Wheel of Happiness, or just simply the Happy Wheel. And the Happy Wheel was spun, and it went round and round. And there was, I don't know, maybe 60, 70, 80 names that could have been selected. But no, it was one name selected. There's only one winner with the Happy Wheel, and it's one of the people in this meeting right now. Well, I'll give you a little bit of time to venture a guess. You got a 1 in 5 chance, 20% chance of having the right name. So I'll give you a little hint. Her first initial is E. That's right. Emily Gomer won the Happy Wheel. Emily, come on up here and tell us what was it like to be the winner of the Happy Wheel.
Oh boy, it's exciting. I get to have an interview with our very own Chief Happiness Officer, Edwin Edeberry. So I have to get a hold of him to schedule that. And he's going to ask all about the business and highlight whatever. So it was interesting and fun.
All right, so let's give a little deeper insight. So when you get with the Chief Happiness Officer, who in his nightlife has an alter ego of DJ Cho, CHO for Chief Happiness Officer, and you're able to get with a guy like this, a guy who interviewed 1,000 people about happiness, and he spun his Happy Wheel, and then you are the winner, and now you get to get interviewed about business. What are you going to tell him when Edwin says, hey, Emily, tell the world what you do, your product, your service, your business, your mission, your objective, your ask? What are you going to tell him, Emily? Let's get a first glimpse right here on the World of Ability.
I was actually trying to think of this, so I wasn't exactly sure what to talk about. But I was going to say something along the lines of something with the Disability Channel, with all of the podcasting, and the Clubhouse, kind of some of the stuff that I've done with you, Kurt. And then with the whole thing with Onward and Upward, and I wasn't really sure what I was gonna say. What was my business, but then maybe something about the virtual assistants, but I don't know if I have like an official business at the moment, but I was gonna say something along those lines. So I'm thinking of it at the moment.
All right, so let's do a little bit of Emily Gulmer. This is your life of the last 2 years. So a lot of what we culminate here has been ignited within the last couple of years, including within the history of the Happy Neighborhood Project. And so we have Jonathan, Marianne, and Barbara as panelists. So Marianne, are you there? Are you available, or did you walk away, Marianne? Because if you're still there, Marianne, able to come on mute, I'll let you go first to share a little thought about what you think Emily might want to share with Edwin Edderberry about herself. And I got a feeling Marianne's gone, so that became a little excuse to get Barbara and Jonathan thinking.
No, she's back. She's back.
Yeah.
She's back, but well, there you go. Marianne, what do you think Emily should make sure to share with Edwin about herself, since she's the winner of the Happy Wheel?
Well, we just want to really appreciate Emily is doing all this behind the scenes kind of work for you, Kurt. And she's a volunteer, and she's always there, and she needs to win a happy hat from Edwin. That's what I think. She needs to win, that special happy hat, so she can wear that when she's zooming us in. So Edwin already recognized all these amazing things that she's brought together with events and nonprofits, and she needs a happy hat. I'm going with that, and I'm going to enjoy my cucumber water here.
Maybe at some point I can try to convince Edwin to do the hat thing, even though I think he's thinking about the Happy Store and merchandise. But anyway, I can try to convince Edwin to give me a happy hat.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with the Happy Co-op, you can join for free by going to hmpabc.com or happyneighborhoodproject.com and taking a look for the selection with that co-op, the Happy Co-op. When you click on that, you can take a look at what's available, and it's available for free, a free offering in conjunction with the Happy Neighborhood Project. You can be a free member of the Happy Co-op, and you can check out the Happy Store. And when you sign up for free as a free member of the Happy Co-op, you start earning points. And guess what? With what Marianne and Emily were just talking about, with an HMP decal hat, so a little bit of that swag and stuff like that, you can get all of that by earning it, by getting those points going, by attending events with the Happy Neighborhood Project. And then when you redeem those points, that merchandise can be yours. So take a look at the Happy Co-op, available as well through thehappycoop.com. So over to you, Jonathan. Jonathan, what do you think Emily might consider to say to Edwin about her? What might Emily say to Edwin, Jonathan, about her being the winner of the Happy Wheel, and something you think is really a spotlight for what Emily is doing? What do you think, Jonathan?
I mean, Emily really does go above and beyond. She really goes above and beyond. The fact that she's dealing with me, I feel like on a daily basis, it's like that alone is already enough, right? Forget about everything else. But
Jonathan, I would add you and Kurt into that.
There you go. So double. So there you go. I mean, she's a person, I think, and really does a lot for the community. And I feel that, she's, I think, the epitome of what the Happy Neighborhood Project is all about, which is, you're optimistic, you're happy, you're excited, and she's always on it. She's always on it. She's every single week, every Thursday, every Saturday. She doesn't stop. Like, she doesn't give up, and she's very persistent. You know what I mean? She just doesn't give up. So she's the work that she does behind the scenes. I mean, I know for a fact I don't see everything behind the scenes, and I'm sure there's so much more that she does behind the scenes that none of us has any idea about, except for you, Kurt, obviously. But from what I'm seeing on my end, just on my end alone, like if that's the tip of the iceberg of what she does on a day-to-day basis, my God, I could only imagine what else she does. So, you know, I would love to have an assistant like Emily personally, that is really just on it. She's a firecracker. She's on it every single day, and she just doesn't give up at all. And I hope she does. I hope she does win that for sure, because she definitely deserves it. Just from what I'm seeing, just on a daily and weekly basis, she just doesn't stop. She's awesome. All the love to you, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff. So, Barbara, you're clean up in our rotation here. What are your nuggets for what can be piled on in an interview that Emily might be thinking about as she's going to be interviewed by Edwin Edeberry? What are your ideas, Barbara? What could she be saying about herself and what she's doing?
Emily to me, is so kind, you know, caring about people and being good to other people and caring. And I'm wondering, when I first got connected with everybody here, there was a project to help people get jobs if they wanted to work, finding work that anyone could do, helping people with that. Was that a project that Emily, that you took on?
Yeah, I was a part of that project.
Yeah, that was so great. I thought that was so wonderful. Maybe you want to say something about things that you're caring about right now. What's happening with the veterans? What's happening with what happened with that project? You have a lot to say. You have a lot to share. And yeah, I think everybody just wants to see so much good come to you, you know, in the world of like cause and effect, what we see you're doing for each one of us. Love to see better and better things come to you.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you for always getting me on the show when I was having so much trouble with technology.
Technology is good when it works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kurt, what's your response? Or what would you say?
Well, it all depends on, you know, how Edwin approaches the interview. But I think, you know, for me, with whatever you say and I'm listening, you know, I'm going to be thinking about our friends like Ian Kingwell, who, you know, has known you for something over a year, maybe close to a year and a half, whatever it's been. And he thinks about when he first met you and kind of this all being kind of a new forum, a new venue, a new structure, format, and, you know, the interactions and the public speaking aspect and being able to share and, you know, kind of be a part of the spreading happiness around the world. And, you know, kind of looking at what you did, let's say a year and a half ago. And then he's been saying for like a half a year or 3/4 about how far you've been coming and how you built the comfortability and you've kind of assimilated yourself, become part of the pack. And, you know, so there's 2,500 members of the Happy Co-op right now. And there's over 200 co-hosts, let's say 220, something like that. So just think of it, 220 co-hosts, you know, hosting a community of 2,500 plus, because that's just who joined the co-op, much less who's participating in the activities. And then to say Emily is one of the co-hosts, and not just a co-host, the founding co-host of HMP Wisconsin. And, you know, to look at the history of posts and all the so basically there's an element to being a leader and an educator. And, you know, I've been observing that 2.5 years ago, Emily, you were not even thinking of doing any of this stuff, right?
Nope. especially with the neighborhood project.
Yeah. So what's the future of it with you, Emily? Where are you going with the Happy Neighborhood Project? What are your goals for the year, closing out July, for August? What are you wanting for yourself, and what are you wanting to provide in helping people some months ahead? What are your thoughts, Emily? What's the future for you with HMP?
Gert, I wanted to add to what you said. Not just a founding member of HMP Wisconsin, but being the founder of HMP Nonprofit.
Yeah, and you were on HMP Supporting Veterans and All Abilities, talking about all the hard.
That was a part of the getting the ability part of it going.
Yeah, so by the time you get done with Edwin, he might be wondering if there's something of a hostile takeover that he might be asking himself, is he taking over? What's going on here?
Taking over his job.
Right. He might think he might just retire and, let Emily Gallmer just take it over. You can just relax.
Right. I don't know about that. But
You don't know.
But as far as your question, I've sort of been thinking about it as of late, or just recently. Kurt, you know this, but still building, meeting new people and whatever. But I did for a while, and I guess still sort of is, looking to maybe be a captain of HMP. That's one of them. Jerry, we can't hear you, buddy.
Mute yourself, Kurt.
Sometimes Zoom has.
All right, here we go.
For him.
Here we go. I just used the *6 command on the conference line, so I got myself unmuted. So Jonathan, you're a co-host, and I don't know what insight you have on what it takes to be a captain at the Happy Neighborhood Project. Jonathan, do you know how that works? How does somebody become a captain at HMP?
Actually, I have an idea, but I don't know for sure exactly what it takes to become a captain.
What do you think it is?
Just being a kick-ass co-host and really going above and beyond just the simple duties of a co-host, and really taking on that leadership role in terms of bringing people into HMP, really making sure that other co-hosts are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and just being a leader, right? I would imagine it's something along those lines.
Yeah, that's part of it.
What's the other part?
Okay, were you gonna say, or do you want me to say something about it and you add to it? It has something to do with somebody nominating somebody to be a captain, and then I believe Fong. And Fong is the one that kind of makes the decision, yay or nay. Is that right, Kurt? They have to get nominated to Fong?
That's all part of the process. That's what Fong uses to help make sure that he's getting as much insight to it as possible. So Jonathan, who's your captain?
Denise.
Diva.
Yeah. So Denise Vargas. Are you guys hearing me?
Yep.
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay. All right. Just gotta make sure, because my screen keeps changing, and half of the time it mutes and half the time it doesn't. It's fun. But yeah, Denise Vargas is captain, I'm actually the one that encouraged Diva to offer to be a captain because she was captaining out there on these, or I'm sorry, co-hosting out there on the East Coast. And
Of
the
New
idea
York.
is that, what's that? Oh,
She's
no,
close to New York.
Yeah. So we were starting HMP Ability, and there was a thought stirring around, actually including a conversation with Edwin about, what I thought about Denise Vargas. And I actually didn't know Denise Vargas that well at the time, but she was distinguished where, her reputation was there, but I didn't really get to know her, didn't have a one-to-one or any of that kind of stuff. So because he mentioned that, I ventured to do that. And so the idea is she was already a co-host, and there's a general guideline that, our co-hosts really co-host one meeting, in the community. So now we're talking about a second meeting. So we're at a crossroads. Are we going to do a swap? And Edwin would consider changing her.
Because captains oversee up to 4 meetings.
Yeah,
Four
so
meetings
that was the
is
thought. So
max.
for her
I
to
wouldn't.
serve the HMP meeting, that was one route that I, reviewed with her. I'm like, if you want to offer to be a captain, you'd be co-host of New York, captain of HMP Ability, and, perhaps take on a third and a fourth as a captain. So in that case, she offered to be a captain, and that's where it ended up going. So there's nothing wrong with making an offer.
Good point.
Like I did not offer to be a captain. I was co-host in Wisconsin. Gabriella Waterman was the captain of HMP Wisconsin when we got started January, a year and a half ago. And so I was just doing that. And then all of a sudden I got contacted that people thought I might make a good captain. So I went ahead and offered to be captain, and they assigned me with HMP India and HMP Indiana, and trying to think what else. I was then made captain of, we first had Gloria Russell as a captain succeeding Gabriella Waterman, and then I was captaining HMP Minnesota, and so that's kind of what my experience was. So I guess first step is, like Jonathan say, you wanted to be a captain, have a one-to-one with Denise Vargas and talk to her. Now, I'm not saying you want to, Jonathan. We're just having a review of the topic.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. No, I would love to. I just don't have the time for it. You know what I mean?
You're saying you would love to be a captain, you're saying?
I would love to. The thing is, I just don't have the time for it.
Oh, you don't have the time for it. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
definitely don't have the time for it. I barely have enough time to be a co-host. Like, very barely.
Okay. So,
like, Kurt, I don't know if I should say this now on camera, but his name isn't even in the list on registration.
registration for what?
New England.
It's never been on. It's never been on the list.
Oh, it's never been on there. Oh, okay.
As far as I know, I mean, unless if it was at one point, I mean, that's a different conversation, of course. But I don't believe it's ever been, because it's still relatively new.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
So.
Yeah, New England was combined. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as far as getting back to Emily prospectively being a captain, Emily, you've gone around a dozen times in the last year about this idea of being a captain, and I think what the Happy Neighborhood Project community needs is for you to keep working on your approach and kind of what you do in meetings, and continuing to elevate what you do on podcasting with co-hosting and podcasting and being involved in the HMP meetings until the timing becomes right. That Funk takes a look at our need for being a captain, and it becomes strikingly obvious that, Emily, you can fill that capacity.
Well, it almost happened with HNP nonprofit, but that kind of didn't work out. At least it was for.
So it's all
So there's a
it's all
chance
part
Emily
of
will be,
leadership in life, that it's all about the timing. So Emily, if it's remaining a goal of yours, all you can do is press on and constantly be available and just be there at the right time. Like my story being a mentor. I was talking about having a goal of being a mentor and figuring I'd be a mentor by the end of this year. And lo and behold, I'm already a mentor. So it just happened to be timing. Yeah. So it kind of fell into my lap. So that's the way these things can work out. Sooner or later, it can happen. So Marianne, I want to give you a chance to come back in here. Marianne, where has that come up in your life? Whether somebody you worked with or for yourself, where timing was the fickle thing, where something took way longer than you thought, or luck would have it, things came quicker than you ever imagined. What's a story like that from your life, Marianne? Anything to share that you can think of?
Sure. I'll kind of give you the example. I got injured in Michigan, and through my journey, I did some network marketing with Dr. Michael Seidman, which got me to California, and I met Dr. Kim that worked on me, and I happened to be by a marina, and I met some friends that were going to Hawaii, and I took that chance, and so my friends joked, I go, I bet you I can stay, which I did. And you there? Is it, Barbara, you there?
Yeah, he's
So I knew I couldn't work on a cruise ship, and but I got to Hawaii, and I rented an apartment with some flight attendant friends. Well, actually, when I got there, I rented a room from a physiotherapist at Tripler who worked on my ankle. And I just decided I wanted to stay, and I knew some friends. So kind of like Airbnb wasn't like it is today. But anyway, it got me down to Waikiki, and they got me over to the harbor. And I walked over, and I was trying to find a boat owner who would let me live on a boat. And I did. And I had ocean front. So I didn't have $1 million going over there, but I had $1 million view. So it's a mindset. And then I was walking down on Easter to Unity Church of Hawaii, and I ran into Scott, and I ended up signing for him. And it was a blast of over a decade. And I met other sailors. I got to sail around the Hawaiian Islands several times. For like $100. Okay. You can't do that on a cruise ship or work on a cruise ship, but I got to go, and I got to be a healer. I got my healing hands, and I'm in communication with Captain Carl, who sent me a 2-week trip to get out of Cabo back to San Diego. So I met some amazing sailors. So a different way to travel. And it's not the cruise ship $3,000, $5,000 for a week. This is like luxury sailing. It's just kind of amazing. So again, with that $1 million mindset, the universe did provided even more than I thought. I didn't think going to Hawaii to be signing for Terry Fader or Chelsea Handler. Scott and I got to go on a lot of different catamaran cruises, sailing with Captain Bob, who was a chiropractor that eventually, worked on us. So some of that healing was taken away. His wife is an acupuncturist, amazing people that we met in the healing community with Unity Church. And then we met Suzanne, and Suzanne helped us write this Acts of Kindness series. And Lucy sang at the church for this angelic voice. And now look what we're going to be able to do for 500 million people with these signing characters in the animation movie. And again, I asked what my next purpose was at the Unity Church of Hawaii during meditation, and the universe told me I was going to write a series of children's sign language books with puppets. I laughed. Okay, maybe a little short book, right? No, we're going bigger and beyond. We're bringing these to animation movies. And through networking, I was introduced to Happy Neighborhood projects. So during lockdown, I was able to connect with all these amazing people. I tried to do the Indiegogo campaign and raise zero, but we used that stimulus money to create the trademarking through HNP with Dr. Liddy. That money was provided there. I created 10 app games, and I still need the funding, and hopefully we'll get that with Kurt and his project, and to bring these into animation movies. And we met so many different people who I've been putting out to the universe. I need your help. I want you to be part of this. This is something bigger and better, and how we all can be of service. So, yeah. And so the universe came, and, I had to transition to several different places during COVID. A lot of people sold their homes, left a lot of people seeking shelter, relocation, affordability. And I'm grateful that one of my captains on his bucket list, I flew over to San Diego and got to sail for 2 months with him to Cabo. Again, that's a $5,000 cruise. I got to do it pretty much for being a crew. And now I can crew back. So it's more than I look back. And I look back in the last decade of what I've actually did or accomplished. And I'm like, wow. And all on a disability budget. So, I think outside the doc box. And I'm just real excited and grateful that I'm here. I'm healing, sending out Reiki to the universe. Again, I encourage everybody to contact President Biden for the emergency, the climate change issues that are happening worldwide and to USA. We can call them. Spoke with people at Greenpeace. They contacted me requesting everybody to help make this climate change act happen. And I'm just honored that we're writing the book, a sequel book to the Acts of Kindness series about climate change. And I'm safe and happy. I did get COVID over here in Mexico, in this beautiful penthouse that's affordable. And we'll see where my next journey goes. Hopefully I can get on this 53-foot oyster boat to sail back up from Cabo to San Diego, and then make my journey maybe over to Florida, Barbara, to stay with my girlfriend over there. And that's pretty much it. So you never know. I don't want to say what your future is. I mean, you design your own future and your future and your flexibility. So, you can get stuck. We've all had that, either financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. But when you let go, and I want to say let God, the universe does provide. The universe does listen. And other things are happening. So things are circulating, and it's just exciting. So I am grateful and I am happy, and back to you. Thank you so much, Kurt.
Carrie, you are on mute. But let's see if he comes off mute. How about we go to Jonathan or Barbara? You want quickly?
Well, I wanted to
Say if there was a time.
I wanted to say that yeah, I have space here. I have a room here and a bed here, the guest room with the guest bathroom and everything. Someone could come and stay for a while, and that would be wonderful. And I wanted to tell you, Emily, if there's a way I can nominate you, I would be really happy to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Carrie, do we have you back?
Above the sea.
Yes,
So Barbara,
I am.
Barbara, what city are you in? Barbara, what?
Dania, Florida right now. It's between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Dania, Florida.
All right.
Dania
St.
Beach.
Petersburg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, been there.
The happy campers. Should we go over to Mr. Jonathan? Or were you going to say something else, Kurt? You're on mute, buddy. Kurt, you're on mute.
All right, Jonathan, we've done Minute to Win It before with Denise Vargas. So maybe you can fill in on that. Why don't you take a minute, give us your final thoughts from being in the show today?
No, I mean, I really don't have much more to add other than the fact that I'm just grateful to be here with all of you, and always good to listen to other people who who have so much to share, and I'm just so happy to be here, and I look forward to this, and I try to come on here every week if I'm able to, and super grateful. Emily, thank you so much, and just as Barbara mentioned, if there's a way I can nominate you in some way, shape, or form, I would totally do it in a heartbeat, and I hope you get it, and hopefully I could be amongst one of your co-hosts in the future. I don't know. But definitely so happy that that you're going after that, and I know you're going to be a great captain for sure. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that at all. So that's basically me in a not me in a nutshell, but that's basically my thoughts in a nutshell. And I'm going to Kurt, I will definitely look for a way to wear an actual nutshell just for you guys, if I can find one.
Jonathan, do you have briefly say anything about Kurt's question about the timing of stuff?
What do you mean?
If something took a little longer than you thought, or if it came like right away, like with his being mentor and the whatever.
Oh,
you have anything you want to say quickly here?
Super quick. Just my business was started right before the pandemic, and as it was taking off, just like a lot of other people, like just as it was starting to get off the ground, pandemic came, completely halted everything. Now, we're finally just barely getting out of it. So just barely getting out of it. Basically all wounded and everything, but we're all good to go, and I'm just really excited to see what happens down the road. So I don't want to go too deep into it, but that's the first thing I could think of. So I guess that's what I could share.
There you go. That's a little something that we call, hey, folks, that's what keeps you coming back. We kept it short. We kept it brief. We gave you an idea. We got a whole lot more to say. And that's what gets you coming back for next week, is we're going to have Jennifer A. Whitaker join us in co-hosting next week. She's going to get more involved in the half a year ahead of us and beyond. She's going to get very involved with us, and then we're going to transition to add a show of her own as we come into the summer of next year. She's excited to have podcasts that she's looking to announce maybe as we get into April. Her show and everything might be a little bit more announced, but just kind of alluding to it and giving that tease, because it's kind of a commitment that she's making in her realm of things, writing books, and she's done tutoring and stuff like that. So we're really excited to continue working with Jennifer on opening up her wheelhouse and her work. She shares business consultancy and all sorts of stuff. So we'll be learning more about that next week. So make sure to tune in here at the World of Ability podcast. Again, big thanks to Transforming Media Network, the Disability Channel, and the PAC Channel for all joining with us and making this possible to share it out with more audiences. And again, the World of Ability podcast was inspired for disability advocacy live streaming, and to get more programs out there, for more marketing of things that I got an idea about in the last 10 years as I participated more in the disability community through faith life, service life, lifelong learning, civic life, the business world, employment, and all the fun things we do in life, and really opening up gateways and really meaningful stories that will continue to be shared in the years ahead through the disability community, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, the deaf community, blind community, people with physical disabilities, those who live in chronic pain, everyone with the mental health diagnosis, and those that have a goal of substance use reduction. So, all right, thank you very much. Again, I'm Kurt Roskoff, signing off here today for this, Your World of Ability podcast. See you next time. Bye for now.
Hey folks, I'm Chip Wynn with Chip Wynn Motors, Chip Wynn Classic Cars right here in Paducah, Kentucky. Today I want to tell you about something near and dear to my heart. Project Die Hard. Now what is that? That is an organization set up our veterans who are transitioning from military life back to civilian life, and to help them do it in a healthy way. We need your support. We need your help. We need your financial help. What we're going to do is the weekend July 28th, 29th, and 30th. We're going to have a massive celebration and a fundraiser for Project Die Hard. Even Saturday, July the 30th, we're going to have a classic car show. Not only our cars will be in it, but the public will be invited to participate as well. Now is the time to step up and support a really worthy organization. Project Die Hard. Come on and join us.